It's it. All right. Hello, everybody. I welcome you all to the 66th session of Leaders Are Readers Book Club. I'm Arushi Kapoor, your host for tonight. I am a certified public accountant, now a certified yoga instructor, and I love to read about nutrition, healthcare, spirituality, and fiction and non-fiction books. Apart from reading, I love attending the Leaders Are Readers book club each Tuesday. Today's meeting is power packed with a very relevant topic, which each one of us is trying to accomplish every hour, every day, every week, every month, and every year. That is time management. So, all of you, just ponder over the next few sentences that I'm going to say. Do you manage to tick everything on your to-do list? Do you manage to meet deadlines? Are you able to manage your work life and personal lives? Do you often feel distracted and don't know how to keep a tab on them? Do you have a hard time prioritizing tasks? Do you know what to do when you're overwhelmed with work? Well, if the answer to any of these questions is no, then, my dear friends, you're at the right place. And today's keynote on time management will surely provide you with some answers. With that, I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker, Gita Kashyap ma'am. Gita ma'am has been an English teacher with an experience of teaching the senior students for more than 25 years. She loves to enjoy the little things in life, especially now the company of a little angel since the last few months. Traveling around the world is her dream, and she hopes that it comes true soon. She is waiting for the pandemic to cool down, and then she will set off to fulfill her dream. She speaks with a smile on her face and talks with the grace of a swan. One of my favorite speakers whose keynote speeches I always look forward to. Ma'am, I'm really looking forward to your keynote speech today. Now, keeping up with the theme of time management, let me introduce today's timer and listener. Today's timer is Bhavana. She is an enthusiastic person who's always keen on learning new concepts and perspectives. And she aims to become a euphoric leader who can perfectly lead a team. And therefore, she's joined Toastmasters and she loves the perspectives of fellow Toastmasters and the learnings she gains from them. She's spiritual and loves doing yoga. Her faith and trust on her abilities reflects in her positive attitude. Thank you, Bhavna, for keeping the time today. It is a very important task. Now, my presence in this book club is a testimonial of my fondness for reading. And lately, I've been reading one book a week. The book I'm currently reading is called The Last Lecture. But the review of that book is for another session. Today, we have Mr. Sudeep Khanna, who is our book reviewer. His mantra is live and let live. And he believes in it strongly and follows it through. He's fascinated by nature and spends quality time outdoors. And that is his way of regaining his energy. Our book reviewer is also obsessed with playing chess and doesn't miss out on any opportunity to play the game. When he's not found playing chess or lost in nature, He ponders about how to become a good human, and that is his ultimate goal in life. Today, Sudeep will review the Japanese book Ikigai, the Japanese secret of long and happy life. With that, I hand over the virtual stage to Mr. Sudeep.
Yeah, good evening, everyone, and thank you, Arushi, for a lovely introduction. So, friends, in looking as per this current pandemic, uh, one of our question and one of our lessons that we have learned is that health is a wealth. No matter how much wealth we have, no matter how much educated we are, but until unless we take care of our health, uh, it is all a waste of a thing. So we have to take care of our health. So friends, I would be revealing you certain secrets of Japanese secrets for how we have to live more than 100 years. The underlining word is more than 100 years. Now, in today's scenario, if we live more than 50 years, it's a lifetime achievement for all of us. But living more than 100 years in the current situation is a big challenge for us, irrespective of the best of the technologies, irrespective of the best of the data that we have. So, friends, what are the secrets? Now, the secrets are as follows. First chapter in this book, it is being mentioned is that what is you should have a deep purpose of life to the longevity. Now, this means ikigai. Now, to sum up the entire thing of ikigai, three things that we have to practice in our life. First, do what you love. I repeat, do what you love. Second, what the world needs, do that particular thing. Third important thing is that whatever you are willing to love, that particular thing, will you be make ensure that will you be paid for that? Fourth and the important thing is that what you can be do at the society. So these are the four things which sums up of the ikigai. What do whatever you love, what the world needs, will you be paid for what you love to do, or what and last but not the least, what you are good at. Second, the secret that is being revealed is about the diet. Now the Japanese follow the 80% formula. The 80% formula is that until and unless your stomach is being full till 80%, they won't be taking more actual food intake. They will put a full stop after 80%. Now the question arises, how you will come to know that your stomach is full of 80%? The secret formula is that they would be chanting a mantra type, which I will be narrating you before and after they had their lunch, dinner, or breakfast. It says is that Hara Hachu B. I repeat, they use the term Hara Hachi Bu. This is the formula that they speak while having any of their breakfast or any of their lunch or dinner. And they make sure that they consume only 80% of whatever they consume. In Japanese, if an individual wants to reduce his weight, they neither go to a gym, but they emphasize on yoga. The second chapter reveals that if you want to live a longer life, for that an active mind and low stress plays a very important role. In today's scenario, most of us are surrounded by stress. If suppose Param is having his, I should say, under the burji type of in the breakfast, he won't be ensured that how much onion is being used in that. He will be just consuming it. It applies to most of us. We are not in the present moment. A lot of things is being going on in our mind. We are thinking of the future, either of the past or what we are supposed to become. So the second most important thing is that we have to live in the present, and we have to make sure that we do not emphasize too much of stress in our life. Third important chapter that the Ikigai book reveals is that to live a long life, the very important thing is that to have a clear Ikigai. Now, Ikigai is that whatever thing that you want to do, no matter is it a day or night, you would loving it to do it. Let's take an example of Sachin Tendulkar, Michael Schumacher, or any other, I should say, any other personalities in music, A.R. Rahman. They have their fixed ikigai that they are 110% into that. They love it. Last but not the least, I would like to sum up is that the only secret that takes the entire life more than 100 in terms of number of the life is concerned is that they do not think to retire. They love whatever they want to, they are doing it, and the entire life they do it in enhancing it, and last but not the least, they become the master of it. So the final takeaway, if you want to read this book, is that if you want to live 100 years plus, the youngest of the person is 84 years that they have mentioned in the book. But if you are willing to live more than 100 years plus, read this book, implement it, and there will be more secrets that will be revealed. But as per the time is constrained, I won't be revealing all the things, but I have I tried my level best to sum the entire thing. Over to you.
Gita ma'am, you can start.
Good evening to one and all present here. I, Gita Kashyap, I'm going to speak about time management today. But before I begin, I would like you to raise your hands, those who find scarcity of time every day. You find that there is very less time. There's a lot to do, but very less time. Please raise your hand, those who find it. Yeah, I can see almost everybody, including me. We all find that there is scarcity of time. There's very less time. I don't have time. I'm very busy. I don't have time even to scratch my head. These are the oft-quoted phrases these days. Everybody seems to be suddenly very busy in the world. It could be true to some extent. To some extent, right. We are busy. We have increased our workload. That's why we are busy. But honestly speaking, more often than not, we are just faking. We are just pretending to be busy. We are not as busy as we are trying to show. Probably it's a style icon. It's a fashion fad. It's a status symbol to show yourself busy. We all want to say, I'm so busy, I don't have time. It has become a status symbol. You have all the time on this earth to watch movies on Netflix, one after the other, one after the other. You have all the time on this earth to sit on Facebook chatting with those X, Y, Z friends whom you have never seen many a time, whom you have not even met, but you have all the time to chat with them. You have all the time on this earth to open WhatsApp messages and videos and spend hours on that. Early in the morning, get up, open your WhatsApp and continuously for 3, you don't even know how much time you're spending on that. Some of those videos are so fake, false, fraudulent. You're just wasting your time. Watch till the end and forward it to 20 others. Otherwise, there's going to be misery in your life. Nobody wants misery in their life, isn't it? So even if I don't believe, let me forward it to 20 others. Who cares? I'm scared. I don't want misery. So I forward it to 20, wasting my own time and wasting so many other people's time. Sometimes I wonder, are we any different from the people in the Roman mob during the Shakespeare's time, Julius Caesar's time? The Roman mob was fickle-minded, was believing whatever was told by Brutus. When Brutus was giving his speech, they were all in favor of Brutus, against Julius Caesar. And when Antony started his speech, the fickle-minded mob, all towards Antony, against Brutus, totally turning against Brutus, and in favor of Julius Caesar. When Antony was a very good orator. So similarly, are we any different? Without even bothering to stop for some time and think whether these messages are correct or whether it is a mastermind somewhere. Somebody is trying to befool you, and you're spreading those false messages unnecessarily, creating so much of misery in the world. So it is better to avoid all this. And then we say in the end, after wasting so much of time in all these things, we say, I am so busy. No time for you, don't have time for your parents. You don't have time for your near and dear ones, for your children. You don't have time for them, but you have time to watch all this nonsense. We are all included in that. So there is a very thin line between extraordinary people and ordinary people. A very thin line. The only thing that the ordinary people do not know is they do not know how to manage their time, which is extremely important. There is a group, we all have 24 hours in our life, 24 hours a day. And in those 24 hours, some people, not 1 hour less, not 1 hour more. Or does anybody have more time than 24 hours? No. We can tell my neighbor is richer than me. He's so lucky. He's much wealthier than me. He has a Mercedes. He has a BMW. She's so pretty. She's much more prettier than me. We can say that. We can envy them. But we can never say that so-and-so is having more time than me. Bill Gates had more time. Abdul Kalam had more time than me. No, we cannot say that. We all have the same time. It's how we manage those hours that is our responsibility. Some people go rush from pillar to post, rushing day and night. They squeezing in whatever they can in those 24 hours. And by the end of the day, they're exhausted, tired, no energy left, but no productive work done. Not much of it at least. Whereas another group of people are able to do in the same number of hours, they are able to do tremendous. They are able to do a lot in those 24 hours. They are able to do for themselves, earn a name for themselves, and do a lot for the society as well. So they are the kind of people who have been able to manage their time well. So today we are all here to get few tips about time management, very simple tips, but if they are followed, it is going to work wonders in your life. It's really going to differentiate you from the ordinary mob. It's going to make you leaders. If you want to do excellently in your office, in your workplace, you have to just follow a few tips, and then things can be very smooth and nice. The first tip that I would like to give you for time management is pre-plan your day. Pre-plan your day. Pre-planning helps a lot. It does wonders in your life. If you plan one night earlier, think about what you're going to do the next day. You can jot down these points if you want. It is so important to pre-plan. These things seem very insignificant, but they can help you in your life. Now, pre-planning. If I go to my school without planning my lecture, without preparing my lecture, do you think it's going to be as effective as the one if I go prepared? No. If I go unprepared, students are very smart these days. Immediately they come to know, ma'am has not prepared. There and then they ask you questions and you fumble there. But if you go prepared, you're doing justice to yourself. You're doing justice to the students. You're doing justice to your office work if you go prepared. And even the speech that we are giving here, Leaders are Readers Club or your own club, when you give a speech, if you come unprepared, you will not be able to have any effect on the audience. But if you pay a little attention, if you plan and come, if you prepare and come, you will be able to do justice. You'll be able to help at least a few of them. Now, it does not matter whether the crowd is just 14 people or 500 people. It does not matter at all. You have to be equally prepared. Even if it's a crowd of 500 people, 1,000 people or 10 people, your purpose is to do your best. And if even 3 people sitting here are able to change their life with what I'm saying today, my speech has served its purpose. It is effective. I'll be happy that my speech has done some work. So pre-plan your day. I remember this example I've given earlier also, but I would love to give this because this is my favorite example here. A number of years back when I rejoined my school, the initial few months were so chaotic. I never used to plan beforehand. My kids, my son was in nursery, my daughter was in 4th standard. In the morning, the scene was really horrible, chaotic, and I used to lose all my energy shouting at them. Why don't you do your things at night? Why don't you pack your bag? Why are you shouting? We would go rushing to school, rushing as fast as we could in my car, driving as fast as I can, and so that the red dot, I skipped that red dot. I don't want that red dot in the register. So for doing all this becomes dangerous for your own life and for your children's life. My father, he called and he said, why? What are you doing? This is not the right way. I said, yes, Daddy, I want to quit my job. I'm so exhausted. I don't like it anymore. I don't want to do it. He said, quitting is never the solution. Quitting is not the solution. What you have to do is just pre-plan, pack and I talk to my children as well, politely. If you shout at them, they're never going to listen. If you talk to them politely, they're going to listen. That small tip from my father had done wonders in my life, miracles in my life. The rest of the 24, 25 years of my teaching became as smooth as butter. It was a cakewalk. I never faced any difficulty. I would come back totally energetic. If you start your day properly with energy, full energy, you find the whole day running smoothly. And then I would come back all energetic. I would take them to the IG stadium for badminton. I would take them for swimming. I would take them for the coaching. My friends would say, how come you have so much of energy? But if you start your day well, if you plan your day well, you will have all the energy. You will never be tired and exhausted. It's just a small tip. The second tip that I would like to give you is never ever procrastinate. Procrastination is like a disease. It is like an addiction. Once you get used to it, you will keep procrastinating every day. I'll do it tomorrow. Maybe I'll do it I'll start from the 1st of January. Whether it's your health, whether it's your studies, whether it's your office work, you will keep procrastinating. And if suppose, by chance, if procrastination works with you, if it somehow, it works with you, for example, students, if students are able to study the last few days of the examination, the last few days and come out with flying colors, getting 80%, 90% marks, what then? They feel they are genius. They don't need to study throughout the year. Why to waste studying the whole year? They are bookworms who study the whole year. I can study the last few days and I can score such good marks. So they get into this habit. Even parents become very proud of them. Even parents come and tell, ma'am, my child does not study the whole year, but he's a genius. He studies only the last few days and he scores such good marks. They're very happy, proud about it. But it's nothing to be proud. Because marks are not the only thing that you need in your life. Marks are not important. Your whole total personality is important. And if you get into the habit of procrastinating, postponing things, that is going to be dangerous in your life. You will get into that habit. So do your things, whatever you have to do. If you have to do it tomorrow, do it today. Do it right now. Start it. Start. Don't keep waiting for somebody to tell you or some particular date or some event to happen and then you start. No. Start it immediately. So third point is learn to prioritize your work. Prioritizing is very, very important point. What we do, we have a lot of work to do, number of things to do, and we don't know what to do first and what to do later. So learn to pick up. You can make a list of things and pick out 3 most important tasks in your life. Most important task in that particular day, you can say, and do that task first, and then you can carry on with that. If you start the other way around, if you start with the other things, less important, you'll get so tired with the other things that you are doing that by the time you reach the most important task, you'll be tired and exhausted, and again you'll be saying tomorrow, let me do it tomorrow, and that continues. So even if the task is difficult, even if it is boring, mundane, still do that task first. Eat the frog first. Do the most difficult task first, and then the rest of then the secondary thing. For me, the priority, learn to prioritize. So my priority had always been my health. I have to give time to my health. I have to do my meditation and exercise or swimming. I have to do that, whatever be the case. And then the rest of the thing, my family, the secondary comes my family, my job, the rest of the things follow. But your priority should be your priority. But again, one thing that I would like to tell you all is prioritizing keeps changing. Now, it's not necessary that if today I'm focusing on my health, but I have a bundle to check. If I have a bundle of papers to check, that becomes my priority then. That keeps changing. So now when I have to check my bundle, I have to submit that bundle in a particular day. I will first try to finish it. Whatever time I get, I will try to finish it in that time period, and then move on to the next thing. So for example, if you're writing a book, if you're writing a novel, first finish up with that. Spend 3 hours or 4 hours daily. Find out time. That is your priority. Because if you don't finish up that, you will find that it's kept somewhere. You'll keep it somewhere. You'll forget about it, and it's gone. It's gone. Then you'll never be able to finish that book. So if you're writing a book, you have to give time to that. That becomes your priority. Students, during the examination days, they can tell them sports are also important, but during the exam days, their studies is their priority. So learn to prioritize in the office. Learn what is most important. Do those things first. So prioritizing is equally important. The next point is try to have a few hours of no social media time, no social media time. Every day for a few hours, just keep your mobile, your laptop, everything away. No Facebook, no WhatsApp, few hours. If you can do that, it's wonderful. Try to keep all these things away, and you'll see a change in your life. But even if you don't find your mobile phone, the Christians, they have this retreat for 1 week. They don't talk. They just जैसे हम मौन व्रत कहते हैं, so they don't talk, they just pray, and this minimum amount of talking they do. So learn to keep away. Let it be an exercise for you to keep away your social media. Keep away from social media. That is the next point that I wanted to say. And again, another thing is do not multitask. Do not multitask. This is something very interesting for me. I'm so happy to learn that. Recently, I've been reading a number of articles where they say multitasking does not help. I'd always been very, very guilty about the fact that I'm not able to multitask. I'd seen my friends, I'd seen the teachers, they would put their earphone, hear music, and keep checking their notebooks and the examination papers fast. And it's sitting in the staff room, chatting with everybody, laughing at their jokes, and side by side checking their papers. And I would wonder, how come they do it? I tried a number of times, but I'm so fond of music. The moment I hear the music, I forget that I'm checking the papers. I get totally engrossed in the music. I cannot do multitasking. So I used to feel very, very guilty. I used to feel I'm clumsy. I cannot do multitasking. Today, the youngsters, look at them. But I'm happy to know that our mind, our brain is made in such a way that we can focus on one thing at a time. You can do a number of things, but one thing at a time. No multitasking. So focus on one thing, and that will be very effective. If you do a number of things, nothing is going to be really working well. So if you want to do in perfection, do it one thing at a time. Another thing that I would like to say is, I hope there is time. I cannot see the cards.
Yes, there is a time. Yes, yes.
Okay. Another thing is, learn to differentiate between being busy and being productive. Some people feel that they are very busy. Every time they show, as I said in the beginning, they show that they are very busy, though there is no productive work done by the end of the day. So it is important that your productivity is more important than being busy, showing that I'm busy all the time, being busy. There are students also. For example, I'm a teacher, so I give examples of the student. Some of the students, what they do is their parents come during the parent-teacher meeting and they will say, ma'am, my child studies from morning till evening. He's studying all the time, but I don't know why he's not scoring marks. He's not scoring. The reason is he does not know what to study. He is not studying in the proper manner. As I said, prioritizing is important. Sometimes when a subject is very interesting, English is interesting for them, they'll study English every day. Parents feel that they are studying. Or maths, some children are fond of maths. They keep working on maths, they keep doing those mathematical problems without really history, geography bhi hai bhai, usse bhi karna hai. You have to do other subjects also. So by the end of the day, they are not able to score good marks in their exam because they are not knowing how to prioritize their things. Learn to be busy, but with being productive, not just being busy and no productive work. So all these things, if you keep in mind, you can do wonders in your life. You can do wonders in your career. These are small tips. And if even few people can take, and if you can change the life of your few people here sitting here, 2 or 3 people also, I will think that my speech today is a success. There's a poem that I would like to end with a poem here. Your life is short. It gets shorter each day. This life on earth quickly passes away. The time we have to live is briefly here. Then like a vapor, our lives disappear. Time, oh time, why have you suddenly increased your pace? As if you are in some kind of a race. Wait, there are still so many dreams unaccomplished. But alas, time and tide wait for none. Time and tide wait for none. Thank you.
That was wonderful, Gita ma'am. Some points I have noted. So one person you can count on the list of your 2 or 3 who benefited from this speech of yours. Abu's also raising his hand. So 2 out of 3. All right, guys, any questions for Gita ma'am? We have her here. So anybody who wants to ask something she discussed can feel free to ask her. Param, you've written, oh, you've made a whole summary. I thought you have a question.
Yeah, I've shared the entire summary.
All right.
Gita ma'am, I have a question.
Yeah.
So Gita ma'am, the only challenge that I face is, I would love to stay away from social media, but now it is part of my marketing strategy as well. So even if I don't want, I'm forced towards social media. What would be your take on it?
Yeah, I can very well understand being a teacher. Nowadays, everybody is now, even for Toastmasters, we need the social media. For teaching we have online classes, so you cannot avoid it, and you have to keep in check whether the students and parents have something to say, so you have to. But still, if it is possible, I know it is important, but then I've seen a number of people getting into depression, and because of this social media. I've seen my own brother-in-law. I've seen even while eating food, he's over on the mobile phone. He's talking with the mobile phone. At least while eating your food, eat in peace. And while doing your exercise, while doing your meditation, I see people while walking also, they carry their phone, they're chatting over the phone. While exercise, I want to focus on my breathing. I want to focus, at least try a few, if not much, at least few hours, a limited period of time, whenever it is possible for you, try to keep it away, because that is really going to relax your brain, relax your mind. All the time on the social media is going to be really difficult. So it's a emergency, it's urgency. You can keep it with you. I know it is, you cannot do without it in marketing for businessmen and for many other people. But still, if you can keep it away for some time, at least while meditating, while praying, and while doing some exercise, while eating your food, while spending some time with your children, with your family, with your parents, with your siblings, with your nephew, when you're spending some time, I think that time, keep away the social media. And it really helps. It really helps.
Thank you, ma'am. I think one useful tip that I also started doing since a month was to not watch TV while eating my food. So I relate with that completely.
It's
And
very important, huh?
yes, I have seen changes in how I feel after eating. So that's a very great point. Ma'am, another question I had was, can you give one tip of how not to procrastinate? Because at the end of the day, sometimes we feel very tired and we're like, okay, we'll do this tomorrow
For
or
that,
later.
the only thing is a strong willpower. We all feel like procrastinating. You're so tired, you don't feel like doing it. Whether it is people pay for the gym and they don't go. They pay for the whole year, and then they say, I'm tired, I'm exhausted. The only thing is, when you have time for so many other things, try to reduce the time on other things. And if you want, whatever is important, you have to find time for yourself. So procrastinating is not the solution. It's never the solution. So try, and with a strong willpower, when you make up your mind that I'm going to do this, as I said, writing a book, you can never finish the book if you keep procrastinating. It'll certainly keep lying there. Or you can never finish your syllabus for the examination if you keep procrastinating. So that for that, you need to have that willpower and you have to do it. No matter what, you have to.
Yes, ma'am. I think some things we already know, but till the time somebody doesn't come up and say it, it doesn't get registered. So thank you for reinforcing that for all of us. Can we have a round of applause for Gita, ma'am? What a wonderful session, ma'am. Very insightful. All right. Now we're moving on to the next section, which is our audience participation round. And for today, it is something which is fun, interesting, because each one of us can relate with the activity today. So we all watch content, be it on Twitter, social media, other accounts, Instagram, YouTube. We watch Netflix. We keep, going back and forth. And when we are, we have nothing to do, we turn towards these things. And what we do is whatever comes in front, we'll just mindlessly watch, something that Netflix is recommending or what is on top of my Instagram stories. But which content to watch? Do you filter out your content? And if you do follow some great channels on YouTube, Instagram, or any of these social platforms, then we would like to hear you out. So Abu has a wheel in which he's going to spin, and the participants will have to tell us a recommendation for that particular social media, so that all of us can at least filter what we choose to see or watch and follow great content. So Abu, can we have the wheel of social media? And Haritosh, we'll have you as the first participant. Abu, please spin the wheel.
Sure. Wow.
It's YouTube.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Should I say my YouTube channel? No, I'm just kidding.
Just the right
Definitely.
one for Haritosh YouTube channel.
No, there are multiple YouTube channels. The best part, and there are various ways that YouTube and other social media can trap you. But if there is one smart way, is look at all the positive things, and the algorithm works in a way that it will start showing you more positive things. I follow multiple YouTube channels. I follow specifically for presentation skill. There is a guy called David J.P. Phillips. He is the one who has given a TED talk on how not to kill people with presentation. So how not to kill your PowerPoint. Very interesting, and his videos are amazing, engrossing, and if you start, you won't be able to stop until it. I also follow Aaron Beverly's YouTube channel, 2019 World Champion of Public Speaking. His videos are amazing. To learn more about YouTube and other things, there is a lady from Canada called Annie Miller. She's amazing, and her growth has been quite amazing. So these are the couple of channels. And then I have my friends. I have Abu's channel. I have Taiba's channel. I have so many friends out from, yeah, Abu is screaming. Yeah. And I take inspiration from those, and I get inspired and put content on my own channel as well. I had to do that. All right. So yep.
Thank you.
I'll put that in the chat as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I've not
Thank
heard
you.
some of the names before, so I'm definitely going to watch them out. Thanks, Haritosh, for the recommendations. All right, next we have Param. Abu, please spin the wheel for Param. Netflix. Okay, Param, would you like to tell us a great recommendation on either Netflix or Prime or any of these, anything, the subscription channels that you might have watched? Thank you.
Sure. So I think the OTT platform has really changed the way we see the content. They have enriched us in terms of very good series. For the starters, I have also started with Friends, like every millennial, and yeah, I still can watch that while having a lunch or a dinner when I don't have anything and I want to feel something good. But there are certain series which really are thought provoking, which really changes your mind. One of them is Black Mirror, which tells you how technology is going to screw our life in terms of the upcoming time. Second is Money Heist, which is about a robbery, and you can like take out certain good insights from that series about suspense, how people manipulate others, or how you can persuade somebody in a diverse situation. So these are from Netflix. In terms of Prime, I have seen Patal Lok, which is more about Indian crime and how rural India works. Or there are certain series which I think I watch for fun. In terms of Mirzapur is there, which is, yes, full of there are bad language usage and all, but it shows the true realities of the suburbans or rural areas. I like when I was seeing that series, I've met certain people when I've gone to these areas, and I've seen how the good acting was there. So that was it from my side.
Thank you, Param, for those great recommendations. I didn't hear about Black Mirror before, so probably I'm going to watch that. Thanks a lot. Next is Amit, and we'll spin the wheel for you, Amit. Books, perfect in leaders are readers. Amit, your recommendations for us?
Books, I believe, mainly think that when we are reading the books, then we are living the life of different people, means they are author's life. And apart from that, we are learning from the others' failure, others' success. So that is a lot of thing in the books. If I say about the recommendation of the book, so earlier I was used to read the book of self-help book, but right now I am also loving to read the book of that is fiction book. So that these books are keep us glued, means once we create that interest in these books, so then we uh, uh, stay glued with this book. So the recent book that I read, that is the Don't Jump to the Conclusion. That is the one book. That book I read very beginning to end of the last page. There are multiple stories in that book, corporate stories, and in that book, I can say that is one book that I start reading from first chapter to the end of the chapter. So that is one book. But apart from that, like Abu new book, so how not to be screwed financially. So that is another book I am reading these days. I have already read that half of the book. So that is also an interesting book. So I believe these are books. And apart from that, any book you can pick and read, not for the specific, go and pick any random book and read. So that's from my end.
Thank you. I'm still awaiting, like I've ordered, but I've not received Abu's book. So I'm looking forward to reading it too. I've read the first two chapters online, but uh, looking forward to read the whole book. Okay, next we have Amelia. And Amelia, we want your recommendations on.
I,
On.
I am not switching on the camera. That's it.
That's all right, but we'd still like to know what podcasts you follow, and we'd like to know what we can follow through you.
Okay, so podcast is not a very old thing for me. It's quite a new thing. And earlier, I mean, I was completely new to social media as such. In past 1.5 year, I've explored it. I would say 1,000 times much than much before in comparison to earlier times. So yes, podcast is something which I find very useful. When you are traveling, you can hear you if you're cooking, if you are even while exercising, you can continue to hear such podcast, and some things will register in your mind. Now this world is totally new to me, and I was totally mesmerized by some of the podcasts. I don't remember the names, but then they were about literature, they were about life experiences, some travelogues as well, and also some, I would say, some podcasts around maybe real life challenges, uh, something like relationships and life. But then it's been some time, let me say that honestly, that I am going to probably start a podcast too soon. And this will not be like the side that you all or anybody sees in the professional side, or the way we are in Toastmasters, but it will be something different. So wish me luck, and yes, thank you Haritosh and Abu for that message. Love it, love that. That's Ask Amelia. Thank you.
All
Over to
right,
you.
Amelia. Thank you, Amelia. Like we now have a podcast by you, which we all can follow. So thanks for that. And next we have Sudeep, and we want your recommendations on what is it going to be? Social media. And it could be anything, Sudeep, any social media that you follow and we all should also follow.
To be very frank, I search on various videos on YouTube in terms of audio books, in terms of the audio newspaper, in terms of a Hindu newspaper, which is the prominent newspaper. So how to get because it's very difficult to read the editorial, and because of lack of commitments, it's not lack of time. But on the YouTube, there are various channels which amplify the Hindu editorial. So I often uh, uh, visit that particular site on YouTube.
All right. Thank you, Sudeep. So your go-to social media is YouTube, and whatever you're looking for, you just type it and find it. Great. Awesome. All right. Next we have Kavarjeet, and we'd like to know your recommendations on apps. Any specific applications that you use and you really love?
So maybe there were many applications that those I was using in the past. These days I'm only using one application, that is an academy platform to teach. So it's been months that I'm into it. But to teach my students, I have actually downloaded some good apps that I can tell you that I keep looking for. Like I keep searching those and use them. One is British Council. So it helps me a lot downloading my lesson plans. And then of course if we carry a mobile phone, there are a number of apps that we have. So I have certain apps which are podcasts in a way, all ears, teachers. So these are really useful to those who want to learn real life English. So most of the time I spend listening to these podcasts or applications which I open and see lesson plans. And then I really like one if I could deviate from this particular thing, there is one researcher whose name is Scott Thunberg. So Scott Thunberg, I like to listen to him whichever application or podcast his research are there, especially on dogme. So I listen to that. So I'm really sorry to because I don't have many suggestions to give because these days completely occupied in this part. Thank you.
Thank you, Kaval. But I think that was insightful. And anybody who has a teaching background must have benefited from it. Thank you. All right. Now we have 1 minute, and now I'm going to share my recommendations because we don't have anybody else who's participating. So
Rajiv sir,
I have
Abhishek.
Rajiv sir.
Okay. Sorry, I did not read the chat. All right. Uh, Rajiv sir. All
Uh,
right.
Good
Rajiv
evening.
sir, you can choose to share anything, any platform that you follow and not necessarily stick to one thing. Please go ahead.
Personally, over this last 2 months, I started enjoying the OTT platform for simple reason. Movies are very realistic, and also, and it gives me a very different feel than what I used to see in Hindi movies earlier. And there's most like that the way they're presenting and the way language, language is very bad, of course. Then, but the way the things are being presented, they're very realistic, and that used to happen. And what we used to see art films earlier in 80s and 90s. Same thing has come back again, and with vengeance. And this, and with all the actors and actresses are just dying to be on this platform. And when I see the familiar faces who have got who present the on OTT platform so well, and it extends for even 10 series, 11 series. It's like I was saw it last year. Last month only I saw this the Family Man, 10 parts. Every day I used to see one part, one part, one part, and it used to be just like seeing a comic. One part I read one day, second part I read second day, and I used to enjoy a lot. And that's how I think I've developed a taste for it. And this is what is I liked very much of an OTT platform. Thank you.
Yes, Rajiv sir, I agree. There are shorter episodes, some are 10, 20 minutes, and they get over within 10 episodes. So they
Yeah.
keep the excitement going, and I think it's better than the soap sagas which we
One
used to
season,
have.
two, season three. Yeah.
Right. Thank you, sir. Can we
Right.
have the polling for audience participation round? Would request everybody to vote. Has everybody voted?
Still
Yeah.
2 people are left.
Okay. All right. All right. Now we'll proceed. I think it was such a successful session today, starting with the book review by Sudeep, Ikigai. And I hope you all find your Ikigai. Thank you, Gita ma'am, for giving us very useful tips on time management. And Bhavna, great work keeping the time up. With that, I'll pass on the stage to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rishi, and so much for giving such a warm welcome. As we are talking about time management, I would like to share something else here. A couple of days back, we were having an online class. Ma'am asked a question. Please tell me who is your time waster. One of boy said that my time waster is my girlfriend. So like this, so we all spend our time and all things. So I don't think that you all time waster your girlfriend and boyfriend. So do not indulge in this way. So let's start for the listening part. I have 3 questions to ask you that how much you were active in the meeting. So first question is this: we we have learned something in pandemic time. According to Sudeep, what we have learned in pandemic time, we have learned something. Yes, Toastmaster Gita.
Take care of our health.
Some good. Health is wealth. So now my second question is this: Toastmaster Gita, here there is not to you don't need to speak over it. So the second question is, according to Gita ma'am, where we all spend our time, most of the time, where we all spend.
Social media.
Social media.
Yes, yes. Okay, the third question is the last. What are the tips Gita ma'am has given to overcome to become a time management person? What are the tips? Who can give me? Yes, Toastmaster Sonika.
Yeah, I was also noting them down so I can answer the question. First is pre-planning. Second is avoid procrastination. Third is learn to prioritize. Fourth is try to have few hours for no social media time. Then do not multitask, and learn to differentiate between being busy and productive. And the last is life is short. So yeah, she agreed. Yeah, I was not sure about it, but yes, these were the tips she gave for the time management.
So here, yes, thank you so much, Toastmaster Sonika. I can say here that we all were listening to Gita ma'am, and all we were active in the meeting, and still we are active, and we love to see you in the other in upcoming meeting as well. Thank you so much for participating in this. In this, now I would like to hand over the stage Toastmaster Kamal Ji. The stage is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bhavna. It was indeed an amazing session. I really enjoyed and will definitely follow on the tips that were given by Geeta ma'am. So next keynote speech will be given by me, and that would be on women warriors. No, I'm not going to talk about battlefields. I'm not going to talk about Rani Lakshmi Bai or Padmavati. No, not at all. It won't be even on women empowerment because women are already empowered. As Kanna Ranaut said this in one of her statements, we are already empowered. I'm not going to talk about feminism at all, but I'm going to talk about some women warriors because, in one or the other way, we contemporary women of today could resonate with them. How these women defied the time bounded laws or time bounded things, and how they came out to be figures in history. Today, when we see women, how, for an example, I'll say that once I was learning this phonetics class, and there were a group of women learning phonetics. Why? Because they wanted to teach their children phonetics. So we all are warriors in one or the other way. And these books, that one of the books that I read recently, The Last Queen, in which Rani Jindal Kaur, who was the last wife of Dilip Singh, and last wife, her son Dilip Singh, and how she actually fought for the rights of her son, and she was the wife of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, and how she fought the rights of her son, and how she came up to be a warrior. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to take few more women warriors and characters in history, and is going to talk about that. The other book that I'm going to take is Untamed. So now Untamed has a completely different story, which you cannot relate with the same book. You cannot say that these books are relatable, but still I'm going to merge that, and what learnings do we get from both these books, and of course how contemporary women could relate with it. So hope to see you all in the sessions, and in that session, and we will have a great time.
Thank you so much, Kawaljeet. Now I'll pronounce your name correctly. Thank you so much, people. Such an awesome session. The only reason why I have taken this spotlight right now is because we have got something very exciting to share with all of us. Borrowing a leaf from Kawaljeet Kaur's book, yes, we are going to hand over the leadership of leaders or readers to two amazing, beautiful, bright, charismatic, adorable ladies of South Delhi Toastmaster. The captain of the team is going to be Sonika. So Sonika is going to play the role of Virat Kohli. So I would rather call them MS Dhoni. Sonika is going to be the MS Dhoni, followed very closely and observantly with Ritika, who's going to be the vice captain. It's been such an amazing time. It's been a year, and when we turn back, I can see that stubborn Param who just did not wanted to refuse the idea that book club cannot happen. And when one person is stubborn, you can see how it works. It has taken us a year, and we are going full-fledged. So thank you so much, Param. We have got Jatin, who has supported us all the way, and all of you lovely people. Tuesday coming here, it always proves, and it always makes us go for that extra work. So thank you so much for supporting us. Sonika and Ritika needs your support. And Sonika had personally called me stating that, Abu, I'm feeling a little nervous because you guys have told us that, Param, Jatin, and you will take a back seat. Will you not be there? So that was one thing that I assured her that we will not, oh no, we will be there. That's what we assured her, that we will be there. But again, we need to support these women. And I have my mothers, I have my sisters. And the moment you support them, you see something amazing, remarkable out of them. Okay. So let's go ahead and support them. We have the winner for today. Sonika, who's the winner?
The winner is Haritosh.
The winner is Haritosh. Okay. The best gift that you can give Haritosh right now, the best gift. Let me see, Arushi, if you can guess the best gift that you can give Haritosh right now. He always gets applauses. Yes, Arushi.
Follow his channel and buy his book.
Follow his channel. You are almost there, almost there. Who can tell me what is the best gift for Haritosh? Thank you, Arushi. Best gift for Haritosh right now.
Give a recommendation.
Smaller.
Thank you so much. Please buy the Kindle version of the book. Please go ahead and give a 5-star rating and review. This is the best gift you can give. And as Haritosh is the winner, may I request Haritosh for the signature pose?
Thank you, Abu. And yep, let's do this. We have women power here. Yeah. I hope it's taken.
Done.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ritika.
Thank you so much, everyone. So next Tuesday, let's go ahead. Sonika leading the battle, Ritika following close to her, and all of us always there. Take care of yourself, people. Thank you so much once again.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.